All right, then, and finally, the last step really is we're thinking through our remote learning design that for this template here that we're going to eventually put this all into. We're going to look at a product. And so what is it that this learning experience is sort of led to as this final piece? Nick, yeah, how will students show what they know?
Great question. The product, like you said, is this culmination of learning in your remote learning plan. And I think it's important that we really make the point to say, we're not talking about a 2-week-long project here. We're thinking, how are kids going to show what they know in relation to that one specific learning objective? So let's think about some examples. In a math classroom, we really like to talk about math discourse, and that students are expressing how to accomplish something. This is called a worked example. So potentially, we're thinking about kids solving a word problem and then recording themselves, maybe using Seesaw, maybe using Flipgrid, maybe a written explanation in an offline setting. But they are explaining how they got to their final answer. It's more than show your work, that you're actually having a written explanation or a verbalized explanation. And this helps us as educators identify where is the gap. If there's a problem, where was that problem? In a social studies classroom, we're again not talking about a 15-page essay, a 20-slide presentation. We're thinking about one slide. So if you're focused on, for example, the goods and services that governments provide in this remote learning plan, maybe students are going to create one slide that identifies the one or a small set of goods and services that they have access to in their community.
And is it so focused on the one because the standard should be fairly narrow in its scope? Is that why we're kind of trying to limit this? In addition to time, right? Like these are all kind of factors weighing in on that.
That's a great question. So why are we focused on narrowly? Well, it goes back to what is our objective? That in a remote learning context, we are limited on the time that students have to dedicate to learning and showing what they know. That we want to dive as deep as we can, get kids to that application level, but that we recognize that there are other things to do, both at home as well as for other classes potentially. So yes, we are recommending in this context of remote learning a quick idea for how kids might show what they know in relation to that singular objective for this remote learning plan.
Yeah, efficient and effective. I like that.